let's quickly review the April-May roadmap. Let's start with talking about Lancemaster then. So let's talk about Glavier really quickly. So what she does, she's a 2-stance character. What she does is she has blue skills and she has red skills, right? And red skills usually do a lot of damage. This is more of a damage skill. And then the blue skill does a lot of stagger and or other stuff. If you have an engraving that utilizes both of this, you have to go level 3. What it does is if you switch stance, you get a buff, but the stance buff is different of how much of these bars are filled. If I swap without any bars, I don't get any of the buffs. So this is like a super basic. I'll tell you the details like later when I actually do the class review. You have this build, and then you have the other build. You only use blue skills. It increases the damage of your blue skills, so you would have a level 3 of that. They're both pretty viable builds. The swapping build is more APM heavy. The blue build is also pretty, like, they're about the same. They are spec based for swaps. It's very different. There's a one that goes swiftness, there's one that goes half and half, and there's one that goes a little bit of crit too. It's really different. The reason why is because if you look at this, one of the key skills that she has, this is one of her main DPS skills for the red. Let's call it the red swapping Lancemaster, right? The red Lancemaster, this particular tripod, it decreases the range by 50%, but it's a guaranteed crit. So she has 100% crit in this skill. You take away every single crit, and then you utilize these skills to cover your crit up. You don't need the crit stat. That's why you put on like full spec, or sometimes you put it on swiftness if you want to. Technically, my build is where you utilize the red skills as much as you can to pull off as much damage as you can. She was a very strong class for equalized content because she's a guaranteed crit, because everyone else could not crit due to the lack of combat stats. So this was a better class overall for equalized content. Use your blue skills for like synergy related stuff. My Q skill is like crit related. It gives 18% crit chance to everyone. So you see the bars filled, right? If I switch now, you see this buff. It says it's increased in 50% in crit damage, right? And I fill up my bar up again, and it's bar is filled up 3 times, and I switch back, and this time I have crit rate, so I have higher crit rate. So I use my awakening here. Most of them is yellow, right? It's because I have 25% crit rate additional to whatever I had. So if you don't swap at level 3, it is not efficient. So you have to fill it up. So Welfrun is good, right? So you can counter while swapping as well, making sure you put the Q skill to put the crit synergy up, right? And then you use your blue skills for just dishing out damage, and whenever your skills filled up, you swap and you do your main source of damage, the red skill. So for those of you who are wondering if she's positional, is some of her attacks are back position and front position, but you notice this main skill, right? It's a back attack and all. But the reason why she doesn't really have to matter on positional is because she has too many skills to begin with, so she's more of a spammer instead. It's good to attack from the back. It is good to do whatever, but it's not as bad as like a destroyer or someone who is like a heavy back attacker. So I switched to red. See this thing, right? I can parry here like that. She gets a skill. She gets like a shield, and then if she gets hit, she hits afterwards. It's not a counter, it's a parry. The similar skill is Gunlancer's counter spear. So it takes a lot of mechanical skills to actually master this class too, because they tend to use the counter like a lot. And she's really good in hell mode too. It's most widely used in hell mode. And the reason why is because of her synergy skill, plus her guarantee to crit, and the decent amount of damage, balanced damage that she does. And there's a lot of differences too. So you notice I'm not using any of the other red skills, right? It's because they're all at level 1. They're kind of used in succession if I don't have filled up the bar. So rest is like used into filling up your bar to swap back. Not all of them are main DPS skill. You can increase the number of reds, but you usually take 2 red and then focus on blue skills. Good question. So if let's, I can talk about the engraving just a little bit. The reason why you go increase mass on her identity increases movement speed and attack speed by 15%. So if you go increase mass, it's minus 10%, right? So you still have 5% to work with. So she still gets plus 5% even if you have increased mass. So it balances out. Now we can talk about new content. So Vern South gives you a lot of card packs. So it gives you about 22 card packs. So I guess that's like pretty good thing. Vern South has another weekly. It's a Chaos Bridge or something like that. And this is after you do the story. How quick is Vern's story is about it doesn't take more than 2 hours. When I just do it, it usually takes like an hour and 45. So this is the bridge content. So what it does is he sells a bunch of stuff, but you notice I bought everything, right? They give you like cards, they give you additional materials here, and they give you silver. And there's a normal mode and there's a hard mode. The hard mode also gives it. This is a focus rune, legendary focus rune. It's you spend less mana, so this is good for something like War Dancer. And then you have more cards and stuff, right? You have this stuff. Now, the thing itself, you take the quest, and what you do is you kill stuff around the map, and then you go in, you do this once per week. Hard is 1415, and then normal is 1370. You use this ticket to run it once. And when you run it, you have a chance to get an Omnium Star. The boss monster drops it by chance. So it's like Anguish style, correct. And you can do it once per week. The 7-star reward, good question. 7-star reward is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a legendary protection rune. I think I covered this on my past video, the Vern South preview video. This one, it gives you shield when you cast a skill. Arcana needs this, but Arcana is not going to get released, right? So that's besides the point. Arcana requires 3 protection runes for those of you who are planning to play Arcana. Vern South also has one of the best excavate points. It's right here. You start here, and what people do is they rotate this spot over and over and over again. See, there's one here. And then you just basically go here, and then you see another one. Looks easy, right? And there's another one here. There's another one here. And then there's another one here. Yep. And then you switch channels afterwards. So basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There's 27. I know this back of my head because I ran it too many times. Let's talk about Trial Guardian raids real quick. The one we do it every week. So what the difference is, basically it's a seasonal Guardian that rotates every 2 weeks. This week was a really bad one because this guy's really hard. These Guardians are equalized. What does equalized mean? Your stats are lower, and the only thing that impacts damage is your engravings. That's it. So, and why is this important? The higher level character that you do these with, they give you accessories, and they give you stones, relic stones. They give you engraving books of your choice. And you get 3 of these, because you kill 3 of these, right? And then you get materials, and then you get the materials here, and then you have a chance to drop engravings additionally. And then you get powder, the wisdom powder, the thing that you stack up with. So check this out. This thing is very important because you open it up, and then if you open it up, it's going to be bounded. So check how I have it in a box like this. I have 19 of them because I've been collecting it every week 3 times. You want to have this in a box. using the powder should be your last resort on transferring level 4 tripod into your gear. So if you think of using this, you should think a little bit more and try to save it. Here's the guardian obtained per roster per week and offer more diverse wares than a normal guardian raid. So it's per roster. So it's exactly the same as what we have. Market auction house. So if it's the market auction house, it would be the searching thing. So you can actually type here, or you can select it here. It'd be much easier. You can delete presets. You used to not do that, and you can select negatives. So it would be that one, the quality of life. Convenience feature, new fun feature like randomly summon favorite mounts. The randomly summon favorite mounts is this one. You have a random mount button instead of summoning it. So if you have a bunch of mounts, you can put a star, and then if you just press the button, it will summon the mount. So since I selected a bunch of them, right? Bunch of them here. If I press it, see this one came out, and then the bike comes out. So this person, you guys will be killing this guy over and over and over again, because if you notice, me is still killing this guy because he is very easy to do, to give easy materials, and we just like beating him up. If you activate his weak point, as in if you break all of his armor, he heals you for no reason. So he's a good guy. He's a pal. He gives you a lot of stuff, and he heals you at the same time. Now that covers it up. Before we talk to Valtan, let's talk about Destroyer. Destroyer is a class that uses supercharge because most of his skill is supercharge. His main DPS skills are all supercharge. So Perfect Squint is one of the his main skill, where if you hit it at the tip, it does additional damage. So you use your blue skills like this, right? It fills up the core, and when the core is filled, you can use something like, and then you swing him up, and then you have to hit the tip, you crit. So this is the point. So you use the Q skill, my W skill, my R skill to fill up my core, and then I use my purple skill to activate it. And the class is very simple. It's as simple as it can get. And my F skill, it does a roar. It decreases their damage, defense, so I can do additional damage. And I get super armor for a time too. And his awakening, he usually uses this one, where it just explodes. And my S skill, the earth shattering thing, right? It does more damage when you hit it at the ring too. So it is important to do the damage based on distance. So Destroyer is also front attack. And Destroyer has the highest stagger. And all of his skill also has destruction at level 2. So if you have a Destroyer on someone like if you have a Destroyer on, like, let's say the turtle boss, right? You probably don't need to carry the destruction bomb, because he'll just destroy it for you. Someone asked about what the bar is filled, right? When the bar is filled, what you can do is you can transform and then spam your normal attack. This is the bonk mode that everyone was talking about. This particular build I have is the more boring version, because I think that version is more fun, but I can show it to you in Trixion after I kill this guy. So it says what happens is this particular gravity training focuses on the bonk mode. So I'm fighting, right? So you will notice this thing fills up. It's filling up automatically because I have the different one. So it's filling up because I'm battling. I'm fighting, right? When this is done, I transform. And this is all you do. Right? And when you're done, and then you just fight again until this fills up. And when it's filled up again, all you need to do is transform and then smash him again. Like that. This is your DPS. That's all you do. When you fight Valtan, you can fight Valtan one-on-one. Like straight up. Because you get a lot of shields. So let's say you're fighting Valtan, right? You heal up. And then you go, Valtan's doing this, like, whatever the axe thing. You transform and look how much shield I have. and then all you do is just keep you just hit with them. So this is perfect for very boomer players, and also whoever is interested in that type of play. This is the destroyer's best avatar weapon, the rubber ducky hammer, and then you have the toy hammer. You must have this. It's additional damage. Just kidding. Let's talk about Valtan a little bit. So Valtan, if you beat him 14-15, these are the stuff that you can get. You know, engravings. You get gold, right? You get gold. You can get his card if you want, and then you get a relic stone, and then you get his bones. Normal and hard does share a lockout. If you play normal, you can't play hard. What's the difference between normal and hard? Normal and hard difference is if you play hard, it gives you more bones. And check the differences here. Look at this one. This is a chaos stone. What chaos stone does is you require this to craft relic gears. And with using extra stones, you can upgrade your quality of your gear. This is when the game becomes very spend heavy on gold. So in terms of quality, if you want to increase quality, you gotta have a lot of these stones. This is a free honing coupon. You can use this coupon to hone for free at the lowest percentage though. So as long as you raid every week, you can hone for free. So what happens is when Valtan starts, your weeklies are going to be Argos and Valtan. Right, and since if you guys are getting 3,300 gold, right? So you'll be getting 3,300 gold for Argos, and you'll be getting 3,300 gold for Valtan normal. If you do hard, you'll get 4,500. Argos is 2.7k gold. Okay, then whatever it is. But what I'm trying to explain is you will gain more gold every week the more raids come out. The reason why Korea has a lot more gold because we have Valtan, we have Viakis, we have Kuku, we have Broshaza too, right? So we have to run out of these 4, we have to run 3 of these, and these are all gold. But you guys only have the Abyss raid, and then you're going to have 1 Valtan. People will start making more gold. Legion raid, you see an HP bar at the top. You get to use Esther skills. Esther skill is only used once or twice at the whole raid by the raid leader only. So the raid leader, you either press Control ZXC to either spawn Thyrain or Wei or Balthor. So that stuff I'm gonna explain it later. Legion raid doesn't have a death counter. If you die, it's over. It's much harder to clear Legion raid because if you run with a party of 8, if one person dies, you have to beat the raid with 7 people. So you lack DPS if people die earlier. You craft relic armors, by the way. If you craft a relic armor, the plus stays. You only get additional attributes. So these are oranges. You get orange gears from 1445. When the update hits, what's going to happen is people are going to do either Valtan normal. Valtan normal is not going to get you relic gear. Only Valtan hard will give, but you can still collect bones because these are the materials for you to grab the relic gears. The best thing that you guys could do is probably getting these bones and then maybe 1 or 2 sets. That's it. 1 or 2 sets of oranges. You can only have that. The reason why is because the other material that is required, finish your orange gear, Viakis drops it. Her wings. So in order for you to have a full relic set at 1445, you have to be Viakis as well. And Viakis is not out, right? So there's a crafter here. So here's the thing. If you do 14-15, Valtan gives you the muscles. You can use the muscles to create... This is the Demon Beast set. The Demon Beast set also gives you a lot of cool attributes as well. And what it does is it just gives you additional attack power per stack. Right? It says 10 stacks. So it gives you 10% attack power. And it gives you 10% attack speed. Also, it gives you 10% more defense. So this is an entropy set that destroyers use. See these bones? And then you have the stones, the chaos stones. So when you guys are worried, oh, it's like I don't know what to do. So if I simplify it a little bit for you, when you do Valtan, don't worry about doing normal only. The people who are like enthusiasts spend a lot of money. They're gonna be higher level. They're gonna be running Valtan hard earlier. They're just going to have more materials for the bones to create 2 relic sets earlier. And then you since Valtan's going to give you Valtan normal is going to give you this, right? So you can actually progress much slower and get a demon beast set and then switch afterwards. So you're not going to be that far behind if you're worried about, oh, I'm 14-15 but like I can't do 14-45, etc. 14-45, there's a lot of DPS checks in 14-45. The game gets significantly harder. So even if you are 14-45 and can do hard, I kind of suggest you guys do normal first, right? Unless you guys know what you're doing. For example, like a veteran player who play from Russia or Korean server, they know what they're doing, so they would just start straight up for hard mode. But if for someone who's new at the game, I kind of don't recommend you start at hard because it's just gonna give you stress. The game's designed to give you enough materials to get stronger slowly. Gate 1, you can beat Gate 1 and get the rewards. I think it's like 500 gold, or it depends when Valtan comes out what the gold reward is. And the second gate is going to give you the gold separately too. Now I can talk about when do you park. Let me give you a rundown. Here's the thing. 6 character. There is a 6 character limit to make gold from raids. Right? There's a 6 character limit to make gold from raids. What does this mean? Your biggest deficiency is what? Times 6. And then you go, okay, I have 6 characters that are 14-45, Albert. What do I do? You have 2 choices. This is your silver rate. This is your silver. 1302 from 14-14 is 25,000, 25,000, and 28,000. So you can push to 14-15 for 4,000 silver each, maybe. But if I were better, if it would be 6 characters, and then you'll have 1302 characters. And what is the additional benefit to that? You can run chaos dungeons. From Vern. Vern is 14-15. And what happens in 14-15? You get relic gears. You get relic tripod gears. These will be pretty hot in terms of gold in the auction house. Because people will buy +4 tripods for big amount of money. When you notice 14-45, you get relic accessories. So it is up to you to decide when a certain character is at a certain eye level, what do I get? So when you ask me, where do I park? Where do I push? It's different per people. So I can't answer you what to do. Let's cover another example. Can I park mine 1385? What happens if you park at 1385? You can run 1385 Chaos Dungeon, which is legendary accessories instead of purples, right? You can run Velganus, and then you can do Abyss Raid. Second phase. I'm only answering the options as if you guys make your own decisions by calculating what your character is going to make. If you're going over 6 characters, you have to realize that you are cut down in efficiency. For example, look at the silver. Let me show you the silver again. Then having a bunch of 1302 good? Maybe. Because what is 1302 going to give you? So maybe park them all at 1325, because you can run the 1325 Chaos Dungeon, which is the first category of the moon phase, and this is the sun phase, right? You get all these materials and just keep selling it. So that covers everything. Now that covers everything. I'm done.